we're back with KMNA. I'm Andio.
And I'm Khalil Deal.
And we're going to be breaking down the main card portion of UFC Fight Night Mexico City. We'll get right down to it, starting with the first fight, which will be Ronaldo Rodriguez against Kevin Borjas. Then we got David Martinez against Simon Oliveira, followed by Raul Rosas Jr. against Vince Morales. Then it's Kevin Gastelum against Joe Pyfer. Co-main eventing is Manuel Torres against Drew Dober. And for the main event, we have Brandon Moreno against Steve Erceg. So real deal for the first fight. Who do you got between Ronaldo Rodriguez and Kevin Borjas, your stepson?
Listen, one of our friends, Javier, he's from Peru. This might be one of his lost sons here, Kevin Borjas, eh? Especially at 27, he probably had him when he was really young, Javier.
And here you are raising him well and shit, and
Yeah, right. All right, let's get into it here. So, yeah, Ronaldo Rodriguez, this guy is a stud, man. The last fight I watched against Ode Osborne, if you guys remember that fight, it was 6 months ago, not that long ago. It was incredible, the fight, how good Ronaldo Rodriguez looked in that fight.
it was
On the feet.
it was really good, and he came back in that fight after getting beaten the shit out of for the first part.
Yeah, he was getting beaten up, and he came back out of adversity, and after that, it was all Ronaldo. After that, piecing him up on the feet, smashing him up. He's very fast, Ronaldo Rodriguez. He's got very quick punches. Very, very fast on his feet, moves around quickly. He's got good leg kicks as well. He's fast. He punches fast. He's got good boxing. And also, one thing that to note, he's got submissions too. Very good submission skills for Ronaldo Rodriguez. His ground game is really good. We saw that in the fight against Denis Bondar, where he ended up getting a rear naked choke submission on him the fight before. And Bondar was pretty decent. At that time, he looked pretty decent, Denis Bondar, and Ronaldo Rodriguez was able to get him in a submission. So I like the fact that he has knockout power. He's got submissions. He's very well-rounded, fast, good boxing. He's younger than Kevin Borjas too, at 25. He's been improving, looking good lately. Whereas Kevin Borjas just hasn't been looking good. Last fight, he got knocked out by Alessandro Costa. And it was where he got mounted on his back, and then Costa just kept smashing him with punches there, and ended up knocking him out. And then the fight before that, Joshua Van pieced him up. I don't know if you guys remember that fight. Joshua Van pieced him up on the feet. Man was knocking him, punching him, landing a lot of body punches, and just outpointing him on the feet. So I can see the same thing with Ronaldo doing the same thing that Joshua Van did, just piecing him up on the feet with jabs. Kevin Borjas, for some reason, his defensive, his striking defense is not that good. He gets hit a lot. He's a weird fighter though. He's able to scramble a bit and box, but he for some reason when he fights, he always finds a way to make some mistakes and leave himself open to get hit and hit a lot too. I find his striking defense sucks. His takedown defense isn't the greatest either. For all those reasons, I got to go with Ronaldo Rodriguez in Mexico to get his hands raised here. I say he wins by knockout or decision, maybe even a submission, because you can see Kevin Borjas is lost in all three ways. He's lost by knockout, sub, and decision. So Rodriguez can beat him anyway. I'll call a knockout or decision. I think maybe he doesn't sub him in this one.
I consider your kiddo here actually a little better on the feet, technically, when he gets in his groove there, Borgas. Other than that, man, it's mixed MMA here, right? So I think Ronaldo Rodriguez is more creative on the feet, but also I think he's the better grappler here.
Yeah.
Ultimately, though, I also think he has more heart, man, and he's more of a dog, as he showed in the fight that we were talking about. Because if he didn't, he would have lost that fight, that's for sure. So that's basically it here. I think his BJJ will make the difference, and I think he's going to win this one by sub or decision.
Okay, so you got sub. I don't know if he subs him because Kevin Borjas is pretty quick on the ground. He like scrambles a lot, but he did get submitted. So it makes me think that it's possible.
Oh,
Uh,
it's possible.
but it was a while back though that he got submitted. Kevin Borjas. He hasn't been submitted in a long time. It was literally back in 2019 against Renzo Mendez in one of the lower level promotions there. So, but recently he did get knocked out and lost a decision. That's why I'm going for the KO decision for Ronaldo. All right, so we're in agreement with the first.
Rubber decision, folks.
Let's move on up to the next fight here. We got David Martinez against Simon Oliveira.
All right,
Yeah,
so I'm gonna go with David Martinez here, the Black Spartan, because another guy on this card, I don't think he's completely UFC caliber, is Simon Oliveira here. I think Dave Martinez is a better striker, and something I like about him, he's going to do more body shots and more effective body shots. Now, Simon Oliveira, what I see him doing, obviously, is try to get the fight to the ground, try to go for those subs, but a very basic style of doing so, right? You're going to get like nothing surprising. He's going to come at you. He's not going to like do double legs or anything, but when you get to clinch area, he's going to try and drag you down. And and that's basically it. On the feet, the Black Spartan is a lot better. Simon Oliveira looks kind of like he doesn't look polished on the feet, right? He has like half decent kicks, but everywhere on the feet, I think David Martinez is better here. So give me knockout or decision.
yeah, man. I agree. I like David Martinez much better than Simon Oliveira. But you're going to say some people, well, he's making his UFC debut. It doesn't matter if he's making his UFC debut because Simon Oliveira made his UFC debut and lost both times. So he hasn't won a fight in the UFC yet. Uh,
He's one of the few that made two debuts and lost twice.
exactly. Daniel Marcos was able to knock him out uh, with knees to the body. And then we didn't hear from Simon Oliveira for 2 years and 2 months
Yeah,
since.
he's not active at all.
So the guy hasn't fought in forever. We're talking 2 years and 2 months, which is absolutely insane. And then the fight before that, when he lost to Tony Gravely by unanimous decision. So really losing to some lower, well, not lower. Daniel Marcos is good, but Tony Gravely, I mean, he's losing to some mid-tier fighters here in the UFC. So David Martinez, definitely like him. He's got knockout power. You can see he's got 9 knockouts out of his 11 wins. He's also going to be the younger guy, 26 years old. Simon Oliveira is at 33. Simon Oliveira will be a little bit taller though than, actually no, it says 5'8" to 5'6" here for Simon Oliveira, but on Topology, it's actually Martinez that's taller.
We just gotta just wait until the weigh-ins, man. That's why we have a show.
And there's a reach advantage too for David Martinez as well there. So yeah, definitely liking David Martinez. Much better boxer than Simon Oliveira, but he does have to be careful for the submissions though, and not get this fight not get himself taken down on the ground because Simon Oliveira does have some good submissions though. You can see here he's got 11 submissions there out of his 18 wins, so kind of a submission specialist. So you got to be careful for that. But I think David Martinez keeps this fight standing and will manage to knock out Simon Oliveira. I mean, he just got knocked out too. So, and 2 years and 2 months layoff, he's going to be very rusty out there. So yeah, and David Martinez just fought recently 5 months ago. So we're in agreement with this one here. Let's move on up to the next fight. We got Raul Rosas Jr. against Vince Morales. This is going to be a banger of a fight. I think this one should be a really, really good, fun fight. I think it plays out closer than people think, though. For this one here, I'm going with Chiwiwi, Raul Rosas Jr., baby. I got to go with Raul, man. The guy has been improving every fight. He's still super young, 14 years younger than Vince. He's going to be the taller guy. He's going to have a 2-inch height advantage on him. but the grappling skills, the submission, the jujitsu of Raul is just top notch. Not to mention his huge chin. The guy has got such a big chin, man. It's hard to knock him out. Vince Morales will have a hard time trying to uh, knock out Raul Rosas Jr. or even don't even bother trying to get the fight to the ground here. I think Raul is just a better jiu-jitsu fighter. So if Vince tries to get him down, bad move. On the feet, I don't think he does that well. I'm going to go with Raul Rosas Jr. to win by submission, man. I think he manages to get Vince down. And you see Vince has lost twice by submission already. So I'm definitely going for Raul Rosas Jr., man, in his hometown. In Mexico, he's Mexican. He's going to come out there with the sombrero, and the fans are going to go wild. The last time he was supposed to fight in his hometown, remember, he choked out and he didn't fight. So he's definitely going to come.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Definitely going to come for revenge in this one and put on a great performance for the fans there. He owes it to the Mexicans here to come out and kill it. So I'm going with Raul Rosas Jr. to get the win by submission.
Well, I think Vince Morales here is going to try and get the fight to the ground, or accept it even, because his striking is really not. It's not that good, and it really hasn't improved that much from what I see over time. And I think when the fight goes down there, whether he wants it to or whether Raul gets it there, the thing that's going to surprise him the most is just how strong Raul Rosas is there. Like, his top pressure is crazy strong. To get to the position he wants to, he's crazy strong in getting there. And I just see him latching up, getting onto his back like he normally tries to do, and squeezing his head off. And yeah, so we're looking at loss number 10 for Vince Morales.
Yeah, those losses come from somewhere. I mean, the guy's like, he was in the UFC before and was losing all kinds. Song Yadong beat him up. Benito Lopez, Chris Gutierrez, Jonathan Martinez, Miles Johns. These are all guys that beat him up. Then he got kicked out of the UFC, comes back into the UFC and loses again to Taylor Lapilus, and then again to Elijah Smith. He has problems against grapplers, against guys who can take him down, and guys who can wrestle, and that's exactly what Raul Rosas Jr. is. So
I think he has problems everywhere a little bit, Morales.
exactly. So yeah, I can't trust Morales here. I definitely got to go with Raul. So we're in agreement with this one as well.
Lapilus even, he fought recently.
Yeah, and he lost.
Yeah, Lapilus beat him on the feet, so.
Yeah, so there we go, man. So we're looking good. Already agreeing in 3 of the fights so far. Let's get to this next one here. We got Kevin Gastelum and Joe Pyfer.
All right, Kevin Gastelum, this is going to be a middleweight, a middleweight fight for Kevin Gastelum. Throughout his career, Kevin Gastelum really belonged at welterweight, considering his size. But this guy, don't be surprised if he misses weight at middleweight. And that's not going to mean he's going to be bigger than Pyfer. He's just going to be more blubbery and out of shape if he ends up missing weight. Here, Joe Pyfer is just going to be a lot bigger and stronger than I think, and he's going to be able to apply his will. I think look, Gastelum's boxing is pretty good, and in fact, he did have one of his greatest fights ever against Izzy there, Adesanya, at middleweight, and it was a great fight there. The fight made the Hall of Fame. But here, I think even if Kevin Gastelum is outboxing Joe Pyfer, the shots that are going to get through for Joe Pyfer in the boxing are going to be that much more powerful than Gastelum's, and they're going to end up hurting Gastelum a lot quicker. And even if he wants to take him down, I think Joe Pyfer's takedown defense is good. Maybe we'll even see a takedown from Joe Pyfer, who's probably going to have some top control there and ground and pound him also. So yeah, man, I don't know what to say about Kevin Gastelum these days. I guess he just decided he can't make welterweight at all, or it's more of the UFC kind of feeding him Joe Pyfer because he still has somewhat of a name, Kelvin Gastelum. So yeah, give me Joe Pyfer by knockout or sub.
Yeah, man.
Knockout or decision, but give me kind of an early knockout within the first round and a half.
You're going knockout or decision, no longer the sub there?
Yeah, probably knockout.
Okay, well, Kevin Gastelum's been subbed 3 times out of his 9 losses. He's never been knocked out. So,
Yeah, it's hard to say. I just feel a knockout, but let's call it, yeah, a knockout decision. But it's possible a sub too with Kelvin here. Who knows?
yeah, man, Joe Pyfer is a beast. Okay, they call him body bags for a reason, man, because he fucks you up, man. This guy goes out there and fights like an angry, angry guy when he goes out there. Um, he's gonna be 6'2" to the 5'9" Kevin Gastelum. So we're talking a 5-inch height advantage there, which is significant. He's gonna be so much bigger than him. Also, he's going to have a 4.5 reach advantage on Kevin Gastelum with a 75-inch reach for Pyfer, 71.5 for Gastelum. So the reach advantage, the crazy height advantage, it's going to be too much. He's going to come out there looking like a fucking the Incredible Hulk compared to this guy when he gets out there. He's going to be so much bigger than him and taller and stronger. And he's also younger too, 28 years old to 33 Kevin Gastelum. Kevin Gastelum, we did pick him to win in his last fight against Daniel Rodriguez, but D-Rod was really starting to get washed and slowing down in that one. So, and Kevin couldn't even finish a slowing down D-Rod. He beat him by decision. Fight before that, he lost to Sean Brady, our boy Sean Brady, who won last week, who we called to get that sub. He did it, and he also subbed Kevin Gastelum. Before that, Chris Curtis got a decision win off on him. He beat Chris Curtis by decision, but then he lost back-to-back to Jared Cannonier and Robert Whitaker. Now, mind you, he has faced the better competition, Kevin Gastelum. We got to agree with that. Joe Pyfer is still, fairly new, but I mean, 4 out of his last 5 fights in the UFC that he's won, he's on a tear. He's been looking really, really good. You got to give him credit for that. He's been doing amazing, Joe Pyfer, man. I got to go with knockout or submission. I think he subs Kevin Gastelum. We've seen Joe Pyfer. He's very good on the ground at wrestling. He's got a pretty good jiu-jitsu. He's not bad. He's not bad on the ground. Like we've seen him, maneuver pretty good on the ground, and he can put himself in positions to maybe get a rear naked choke on Gastelum. He's got some strong arms. I wouldn't be surprised that he lands a submission, but I'm going to go knockout or submission. I say he finishes Kevin Gastelum in this one here, man. He knocked out Marc-André Barriault just the last fight, and he also subbed Abdul Razak Hassan. So, a very good chance that he gets the job done here. A submission specialist like Gerald Meerschaert wasn't able to do anything against Joe Pyfer, and Pyfer knocked his ass out. So, yeah, I love Joe Pyfer in this one, man. This is a setup for him. All right. We're still in agreement with every fight. Let's move on up to the next one here. We got Manuel Torres and Drew Dober. This is going to be tough, man. This is going to be tough because Drew Dober, man, he's got that fucking chin of steel, though. But his chin is starting to fade, though. It's starting to fade, though. We have to admit his chin is starting to fade.
Some chips are starting to come off.
Some chip is starting to chip away there at his chin. It's not as durable as it used to be. And we saw that in the last fight when Gene Silva knocked him out. Well,
he didn't knock him out, actually.
It was a doctor's stoppage for that cut there that he got cut up pretty badly. But he got knocked out by Matt Frevola. That was a pretty bad one too. And he also lost that unanimous decision to Renato Moicano. So let's go with Manuel Torres here, man. I like this guy to get the win here. He's a finisher, 7 knockouts, 7 submissions. He goes out there to kill you. 29 years old, so much younger than Drew Dober. He's going to be taller. He's going to have a 3-inch reach advantage for Manuel Torres. So a lot of good things on the side at home in his hometown. Got to go with Manuel Torres to get the knockout or submission on Drew Dober here, man. Drew Dober's been knocked out 3 times, submitted 4 times. I think it can happen.
This is a very tough fight to call. I don't think Manuel Torres is as good as some people think. Yeah, I like his aggressiveness. I like that the knockout or the sub is always on this guy's mind. That's one of the reasons I picked Bahamondes to get the win, because he came out straight ahead looking for that kill, and Bahamonde is just very good on the back foot and knocked him out off
Yeah,
of that.
he countered him, and that's how he got the knockout. That's the thing about Manuel Torres. He leaves
Well,
himself
that
a
shows that
counter.
you're even a pressure fighter, and you could still get knocked out by Bahamondes because not a lot of people have that kind of knockout ability from there. But here, yeah, the chin is an issue for Dober moving forward because he's a little older now, and he's been just through a lot of wars. But at the same time, I think he's gonna welcome kind of the style of Manuel Torres, and I think there's gonna be a little bit of phone booth fighting in this one. But in the end, I have to lean slightly with Manuel Torres. We're gonna go with the Mexican fighter El Loco in this one uh,
Nice.
to try to get the win at home here. And you never know if it goes to decision, maybe they will give it to Torres. So we're covered on that end too. But I don't think Dober is washed or anything. It's still a very close fight, and the odds were even the last time I checked. And right now, I think Torres is a slight favorite. So yeah, let's go with Torres by knockout or sub.
Nice, man. I love that, man. We're in agreement with all the fights so far. Let's not forget that this is the guy, Manuel Torres, who submitted Chris Duncan uh, in the last win that he got was a submission on Chris Duncan, and we just saw how good Chris Duncan was last week. So I mean, come on, man.
He didn't look all that good that week.
He's Manuel Torres is a badass. Nobody thought Chris Duncan was going to win, and he did. And Torres was able to beat this guy and submit him. So I like his submission skills. I like his knockout power. His finishing ability is amazing. All right, so Drew Dober, yeah, I think he. You know what though? Drew Dober is a good dog. So we'll talk about the betting. He might make the dog list for me.
It's a shame they're in equal value.
And we've made it to the main event of the evening. Brandon Moreno against Steve Erceg. This is going to be absolutely amazing fight here.
Yeah, man.
You got in this one here. Is it my turn?
No, it's
Got in
it's
this one.
me. So yeah, I gotta go with Brandon Moreno here in the end.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I just I never fell for the Steve Erceg hype. I didn't pick him in his last two fights that he lost. I certainly didn't pick him against Pantoja. I didn't pick him against what's his name? I can't
Kai
remember.
Kara France. I actually picked him against Kai Kara France.
No, I wasn't. I didn't fall for him the last two times. I thought Cara France was going to knock him out. I didn't think he was going to knock him out as quickly as he did. And Brandon Moreno, man, I was wrong about Moreno. I don't know if it was the last fight I picked. I picked against him. It might have been the fight before, but one of them I said Brandon Moreno could be on the washed side. Not washed because of his physical abilities, but just like mentally, since he's been there, kind of done that, right? And I was wrong. He really turned it around after a real shitty performance I found the time before. And I think he's just better than Steve Erceg everywhere. I was trying to find like a way that Steve Erceg is better, and I think maybe he has a little power in a pure power competition, but that's not going to be enough to beat Moreno, man, in a fight like this.
I don't even think he's more powerful than Brandon Moreno either. I don't think.
I think Brandon Moreno's a better boxer for sure, so that makes up for it. And yeah, so I'm gonna have to go. Hard to tell how, but let's just go with a decision for Moreno here.
I'll tell you right now, he's never been finished, Brandon Moreno. That just goes to show his toughness, man. Every
Yeah.
single loss that he has been by decision. Um, yeah, I'm also obviously on the Brandon Moreno train here in Mexico. This is the
What? Also, I think if he's on the fence about having that mental desire anymore, just fighting in Mexico City, man, is gonna wake him up at least for this fight.
bro. Brandon Moreno in Mexico, they love him so much, man. This is a guy who's been a champion. They love him in Mexico. He's a fucking well-known guy there. And Steve Erceg, I thought that he got that title shot way too quickly against Alexander Pantoja when he won three fights in a row against David Dvorak, Alessandro Costa, and Matt Schnell, and then they gave him a title shot against Pantoja, and Pantoja just schooled him. Schooled him right away, beat him by a unanimous decision, had him on the ground all kinds, and was just using his grappling. And I think Brandon Moreno is just as good as Pantoja. We know that. We've seen him fight Pantoja. Here's some MMA math. Uh, Alexander Pantoja went to a unanimous decision win over Steve Erceg, and Brandon Moreno went to a split decision against Alexander Pantoja. So it goes to show that Brandon Moreno was able to have a better fight against Pantoja than Erceg. Also,
Wow.
some more MMA math. Some more MMA math here for you. Brandon Moreno knocked out Kai Kara France, and Steve Erceg got knocked out by Kai Kara France. So some very good MMA math there for you there. But yeah, I like Brandon Moreno. He's just way better than Steve Erceg. Just those explanations right there shows that he's better than him. I mean, you know, Erceg getting knocked out by Kai Kara France, and we got Brandon Moreno knocking out Kai Kara France. So I mean, you know, it just goes to show that he's just a better fighter all together. I'm going to say Brandon Moreno actually wins this fight. I say he actually wins by a submission or decision. I could see these guys scrambling on the ground, kind of like him and Pantoja did, and I could see Brandon Moreno getting a rear naked choke and getting his back as Steve Erceg, or maybe even an arm triangle choke by getting on top of him. He's got some very underrated submissions, Brandon Moreno. The guy's a very good submission specialist, man.
Does it hurt your MMA math that he also lost to Pantoja by unanimous decision and also got rear naked choked by him?
I get it, but
because they've fought 3 times.
We want to talk about it more recently. The most recent,
so I was just doing MMA math. Sorry.
Right, but the most recent fight against Pantoja, it was a split decision, right? Sure. And the most recent fight against Pantoja for Erceg went to a unanimous decision where Pantoja just beat the shit out of him the whole time. Yeah, I definitely like Brandon Moreno way more than Steve Erceg. Let's go for the assassin baby here in Mexico. Let's get it. So me and Andy O agreeing on, again, all of the fights in the main card. Only disagreed on one fight in the prelims. We're looking good again this week. Don't worry, folks. We're coming back this week, man. It's not going to be like last week. We should have a much better week this week here in this fight night in Mexico.
Also, everyone, I poke that like and smash that subscribe. And yeah, man. Share the vids.
Stay tuned for Friday.
MMA math, baby.
Friday for our official bets and our final thoughts and face-offs. Let's go. Peace out, folks. KAMMA. Let's get it.